Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Journal Anatomy lecture. We will resume our lecture of muscular system. Lastly, we discussed about different parts of the muscle, and we did major types of the muscles that were the skeletal, cardiac, and the smooth muscles. Then we did different layers of the muscle. We discussed about fascia, and we did some attachment ways of attachments of muscle to bone, tendon, fascia, cartilage, skin, etc. Today we will discuss about skeletal classifications of the muscles. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to answer about the types of classifications along with their examples. Mainly, the skeletal muscle classification is based upon two types. Firstly, we classify it on the basis of shape and fiber architecture. The second type of classification is according to its action, how the muscle act. Firstly, we will discuss about classification that is based upon the shape and fiber architecture. That is subclassified as muscles with muscle with fibers parallel to the line of pull, and the second classification in which the fibers are oblique to the line of pull. Firstly, we will discuss about the fibers that are parallel to the line of pull, the muscles that have fiber that are parallel to the line of pull. If this is so, we will have two major things in these muscles. Firstly, they will allow increased range of movement because the fibers are parallel to the line of pull, and there is decrease in power. If the muscle has to cover a long distance while contraction, then there will the strength or the power will be less. This is the example. These are the muscles of the abdomen, abdominal muscles. You can see here all the muscles are lying parallel, fibers are lying parallel. These are that has got subtypes. Firstly, we have the fusiform muscles. Fusiform muscles, in this type, fibers are arranged parallel but they converge while attachment to tendon, while attachment to the bone. The best examples are the bicep brachii and the gastrocnemius muscle of the calf. Here you can see this is the fusiform muscle. This is the bicep brachii. You can see the converging fibers. They are converging on both ends. Second type of muscle is the parallel or the strap muscles. These muscles, the fibers of these muscles are long, have uniform width, have parallel fascicles. Best examples are the rectus abdominis, sartorius muscle of the thigh, and zygomaticus major muscle. These are the examples. Sometimes they are parallel and they do not have any intermittent tendinous insertions. You can see the muscle that is present on the left side, that is labeled as strap muscle. That is continuous muscle, one insertion and one origin. On the second, on the right side, you can see the strap muscle is have tendinous insertions in between them. Now we come to the quadrilateral muscle. The best example is the thyrohyoid muscle. This is the example of the thyroid muscle. You can see here these quadrilateral muscle that has got same parallel fibers, but the difference between the parallel and this quadrilateral muscle, the length of the fiber in this type, the quadrilateral muscle, that is short length. Fibers are parallel, but they have short length. We did all the muscles that have got parallel fibers and line the fibers are parallel to the line of. Now we come to the second type of classification that is based upon the shape and fiber architecture. That is the fibers of a muscle that are oblique to the line of pull. If the fibers are oblique to the line of pull, the power it will be increased and range of movement will be decreased. This is exactly opposite that we did in the muscles that have got fibers that are parallel to the line of pull. That is further divided into again subtypes. Firstly, there is the triangular muscle. The best example is the abductor longus. Here you can see triangle. This is roughly triangle in shape that has got broad origin and narrow insertion. The broader area here you can appreciate that is the origin of the muscle and insertion is narrow. Then we come to the second subtype, that is the fan shaped muscle. Fan shaped muscle has got two examples. Here I will share with you. One is the temporalis and other one is the deltoid muscle. Here you can see temporalis. You can see here the one that is written, that is present on the side of the skull, in that is attached to the temporal lines. Uh, that has got broad origin, again narrow insertion, and the shape of this muscle is fan, so that is also known as fan shaped muscle. Now we come to the second type, that is the pinnate muscle or the feather shaped muscles, that are further classified into unipinnate, bipinnate, multipinnate muscles. Firstly we will do the unipinnate muscles, and here they come. Unipinnate muscles has got fascicles that approach the tendon from one side only. The best example is the palmar interosseous. Here you can see they are reaching the tendon only from one side. Here you can see that is labeled in the figure. The palmar interosseous you can see here. They are reaching the bone from only one side. Then we come to the bipinnate. In bipinnate, the tendon they reach the fascicles. Fascicles are the fibers of the muscles. They reach the tendon from both sides. Best example is the rectus femoris. This is the bipinnate muscle. Here you can see in the center there is a light area, that is the tendon, and muscles are reaching this tendon from both sides. Here rectus femoris is labeled. You can appreciate here the tendon is not very clear here, but a dim line can tell you the location of the central tendon. Then we come to the multipinnate. Multipinnate muscle, the best example is the deltoid muscle. Deltoid is the best example of this muscle. Here you can see this is the multipinnate muscle. In this type, uh, the fascicles, they are, you can say, they are like feathers with their quills on the single point. You can see here the light area shown in the bottom is the area of insertion basically, and all the feathers or quills or the fibers, they are inserting into this. The best example is the deltoid muscle. That is not very clear here. Here you can see this is a deltoid muscle. Now we come here, you can see tibialis anterior, that is labeled on the left side. Second point is the tibialis anterior. In this type, the fibers originate from the wall of a cylindrical osseofacial area and they converge on the central tendon obliquely on the figure that is present on the right side, in which you can see the tendons are there you can see white area that is showing you the location of the tendon, and the fibers are inserting into this from circumference of the total muscle width into the center. By this arrangement of the muscle, uh, the central tendon is usually remain masked. You can not appreciate the location of the tendon. Best example is this is another figure. Next we come to the spiral muscles. These are basically flat muscles that undergo twist. It means as they approach towards a narrow insertion from the broader origin, they may twist around a bone, or they show a little twist. Sometimes the twist may be around some bone, in case of supinator muscle, which twists around radius. This is the figure of the spiral muscle. You can see here. Here is the example of the Latissimus dorsi. You can see here there is a twist. The red area is the muscle, that is the Latissimus dorsi. You can see here there is a twist uh, while its journey towards its origin. The twist may be around some bone like supinator muscle. Here you can see supinator is labeled there. You can see in both figures there is twist. The origin is from one side, it is twisting around a bone and it is inserting into the twist is around the radius. Then we come to the cruciate muscles. We are doing the muscles in which the fibers have oblique, the fibers are present obliquely to the line of pull. These are the cruciate muscles. They cross each other. The best example is a masseter muscle. This is the cross. Cruciate is basically a cross. This is the masseter muscle that is labeled here. While its origin from the zygomatic arch and its insertion into the angle of the mandible and on the ramus of the mandible, the fibers, they crisscross one another. So this is labeled as cruciate muscle. Then we come to the circular muscles. These are also known as the sphincteral muscles because they basically encircle the orifices. That can be the ocular orifice. Here they are known as orbicularis oculi. They are present around the eye. Here they take origin from one area. They circle around the whole opening area and they insert insert back on the area from where they got their origin. Now we come to the summary. Summary is basically this is a summary of the muscle in which you can see the fusiform, you can see the parallel, convergent, unipinnate, bipinnate, multipinnate, and the circular muscles. Thank you for your attention, please.